Hey, true crime fans, welcome back to the channel. You guys, usually when I do these documentary reviews, it's covering something that those of us in the true crime community usually know a little bit about already. It might be an older case or some cold case that has been covered different ways, different times. But this one today, this is kind of new. This is new for all of us. It's stuff that we really haven't heard before. So buckle up. Today, we're diving into one of the most mind-blowing documentaries I have seen in a while. It's called Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok Cult. Yep, you heard that right. We're talking about a TikTok cult that's taken the internet by storm. And it's left everyone scratching their heads. If you're into bizarre stories where social media meets manipulation, this is one you don't want to miss. So let's break it down. The 7M TikTok cult centers around this influencer management group called 7M Films, which at first glance seems like a legit agency. They manage some of TikTok's biggest stars, particularly those with the viral dance type things, the influencers we all know and love. But beneath the surface, there's something way darker going on. The documentary takes us behind the scenes, showing how this agency isn't just about boosting careers. It's about control, manipulation, and some would argue, brainwashing. Now, what's wild about this story is how quickly it escalated. Imagine you're a young, aspiring influencer. You've got the moves, the looks, the drive to make it big on TikTok. Then along comes 7M, promising fame, fortune, and millions of followers. Sounds like a dream come true, right? But as the documentary reveals, that dream quickly turns into a nightmare for some. The filmmakers do an incredible job of piecing together the puzzle. They dig into how 7M started and how it managed to recruit some of TikTok's biggest names. Through interviews with former members, family, friends, we get a chilling look at how these influencers were allegedly isolated from their loved ones, pressured into signing exploitative contracts, and even coerced into cutting ties with anyone outside of the group. The scariest part, it all happened in the blink of an eye, under the guise of, quote, unquote, helping them succeed. One of the things that makes Dancing for the Devil so gripping is the way it highlights the power of social media in all of this. TikTok isn't just a platform for fun dances and trends. It's become a breeding ground for influence, for better or worse. The documentary doesn't just focus on the influencers themselves, but also on the wider implications of how easy people can be manipulated online. It's a wake-up call for anyone who thinks they're immune to the darker side of social media. The interviews in the documentary are intense. You'll hear from former 7M members who describe their experiences with chilling detail. They talk about how they were love-bombed at the start, given all the attention and praise they could ever want. But once they were in too deep, things changed. There were strict rules, constant surveillance, and a cult-like atmosphere that made it nearly impossible to leave. The fear in their voices is palpable, and it's impossible not to feel for them. Visually, the documentary is slick and fast-paced, much like the TikTok videos that drew these influencers in. It's got a sharp editing style that keeps you hooked from the start all the way to the finish, mixing interviews with actual TikTok clips and behind-the-scenes footage. The contrast between the bright, bubbly content that these influencers put out and the dark reality they were living is pretty stark and unsettling. Another thing that I appreciated about Dancing for the Devil is how it doesn't just sensationalize the story. Sure, the idea of a TikTok cult is shocking on its own, but the documentary digs deeper, asking important questions about the role of fame, money, and influence in our society. It makes you think about the lengths people will go to for success and the dangers of giving away too much control in the pursuit of online stardom. By the end of the documentary, you're left with a mix of emotions: shock, anger, and maybe even a bit of fear. How could something like this happen so easily? And what does it say about the world we're living in? Dancing for the Devil is a must-watch for anyone who spends time on social media, especially if you've ever dreamed of going viral. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the price of fame is way too high. So if you're looking for a true crime documentary that's as fascinating as it is disturbing, add Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok Cult to your watch list. And if you enjoy this review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the craziest true crime stories out there. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and remember, things aren't always what they seem, especially online.